Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Memoria Freese video, and welcome to a guide on how you can get some free iris even though you may not be participating in the Master of Familiar Wargames. Of course, with the anniversary fast approaching, this will be amazing for you guys because you can get an easy 200 or so iris for doing absolutely nothing. Quite literally, you're doing literally zilch. So of course, if you guys enjoy this video, remember to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more Danmachi and Danmachi Memoria Freese content, and let me know in the comment section down below, who do you guys think will win the Master of Familiar Wargames? I'm very curious to see who you guys think will win the whole thing. Now, for those of you guys wondering what the Master of Familiar Wargames is, if we go into the arena and we click on this, it's basically taking the top 16 familiars that have basically been ranked the top 16 in the previous Familiar Wargames and pitting them against one another for an all-out #1 spot basically. And of course, I'll go through the list of familiars right now. We have Waifu, Orario VN, Thanks Danmemo, Orseer Cult, Invictus, Iris, Uranos, Vesta, My Familiar, Valis, Izanami, Pieces, Blank Familiar, No Name. I have no idea who they are, by the way. If somebody knows who they are, let me know, because I'll just call them Blank Familiar. Ravenwood, Starecat, Maple Tree, Forsaken, and Raven Guard. So you have all of these familiars going up against each other, and you might be wondering, well, what do I do in this position? I'm not in any of these familiars. I'm with maybe a top 25 familiar, but not in the top 16. Maybe I'm in the top 50. What do I do, and how can I gain these iris rewards that you're saying we can? Well, basically, if you go over to the predict category, right? If you go over to the predict category, you will get this entire menu right here. And if you click on one of them, say Waifu, which is who I voted for, you can place a winning prediction on Waifu every single day. Now, personally, I would probably say go for either Waifu or Iris. They are the safe bets. I would have made a joke about how you should vote for Vesta. We're clearly gonna win. Don't do that. We're not gonna win. We're probably gonna come like maybe top 5 if we're lucky, but I would say definitely Waifu is probably going to be the #1 familiar, or Iris. It's one of those two. They can do a good job. It just depends on the situation and the teams they face and everything. But I would say that the safe bets are Waifu or Iris. Go vote for them. And if you vote for them, you will gain a certain amount of Iris. So let's check out the help category so that you guys can exactly see what happens and how it works, the whole entire Master of Familiar Wargames. So Master of Familiar Wargame is a tournament style game in which the top 16 familiars who have won the Hero League in the Familiar Wargame play against each other to determine the best familiar. In addition, all players can enjoy the event by supporting the participating familiars, predicting the winner, and watching the event. There will be, I think there's somebody who said that they might stream the Master of Familiar Wargames. I personally will not, because I personally just don't have the time, and I will be participating in the Master of Familiar Wargames as well. So it's a little bit trickier for me to like watch everybody fighting, right? But I think somebody did mention, and I don't know how true that is or if it's actually happening, so we'll wait and see. I'll let you guys know in the community tab if that is actually happening. But there is somebody thinking of streaming the Master of Familiar Wargames. I know, of course, the Danmachi development team will be streaming the Japanese side of things. They will be streaming the Japanese Master of Familiar Wargames on their channel, so go check out the Danmachi YouTube account, I should say, not the Discord. There is no Danmachi official Discord, unfortunately, for Memoria Freeze, but the Danmemo YouTube channel will be streaming the final day, I think. So you can go and watch their live stream of them reacting to the Japanese server, basically duking it out. Alright, let's take a look at the event flow now. Master of Familiar Wargame participation will be determined by the pre-round Familiar Wargames familiar rankings. So the Familiar Wargames that we just had, that's how they determine the top 16 familiars basically. In the case there are ties in the rankings in the pre-round, participation will be decided by the below rules. Familiar with the greater number of familiar badges earned, excluding win count bonus, by all members of the familiar will be ranked higher. If the number above is the same, the familiar with greater total number of familiar badges of general and lieutenant remaining will be ranked higher. And if the above is also a tie, the player with the highest total points in the Ultimate Wargames, which is the qualifier for the Familiar Wargames, will be ranked first. During the event period, familiars will be matched off the tournament table for battle each day. So you can see right here, this is exactly how we're facing. We, Vesta, will be facing Valis. In fact, when does the battle actually start? I'm not going to show anything else because we've got teams set up and everything going on, right? So we have 14 more hours to go before the prep ends. So bear that in mind. So there's still a lot of time until we actually get going into the battle stage. Maybe I might do one stream. Maybe I'll do the final day and I'll stream that, but we'll see. The rules of the battle are the same as Familia Wargames, and so it's exactly the same in terms of the Familia Wargame situation. There's no differences between the two. So let's move along and see. The Familia that wins all battles will be the winner. In order to determine the ranking of all Familias in the Master of Familia Wargames, all Familias will play each day against each other. So basically, it's not like a proper tournament where if you lose, you're knocked out. Every familia will be playing every single day. If we lose against Valis, say for example, say Vesta lose against Valis, we will probably face off against somebody else who lost as well, and that's how they determine it. So basically they'll go basically in order of who lost, how many wins do you have, how many losses do you have, and then accordingly pair you against those familiars basically. So the final day will be between first and second, whoever has got the wins, all the wins in the planet, basically all the wins in the Master of Familiar Wargames, and they'll duke it out on the final day basically. That's how it works effectively. But yeah, that's how it exactly works. In order to determine the ranking, yeah, we've seen that in the first round, winners will be placed in the best 8 and loser will be placed in the best 16. Starting from the second round, familiars in the best 8 will continue according to the tournament, and familiars in the best 16 will have random matches. Familiars will be sorted into best XX rankings by winning and losing. The winner of the second round will move on to best 4, and the loser will remain in the best 8, and so on and so forth basically. Like I said, if you lose, you'll go into the lower bracket. If you win, you stay in the main bracket basically. That's how it exactly works. Support. During the event period, you can support battling familiars each day. Now, I don't know if it's random for everybody, but for example, today we have Ravenguard versus Forsaken. I just chucked it on Forsaken because I don't know much about these two familiars. Well, I say that. We did actually face off against Ravenguard on the last day. That is to say, Vesta did. So I know how they are, but I don't know much about Forsaken. So I just voted for Forsaken, and that's how I went about it. And as a result, I hope they win. Hopefully they win basically. Familiars to support will be chosen at random from the daily battles. You can support once a day. The number of times you can support will be reset at 7 in the morning PST, by the way. So every time the matches end basically, right? So the day when the matches end, that's when the support will also end basically. You can support from after matching to the start of the battle each day. You can earn rewards depending on the results of the battle of the familiar you supported. We'll check out the rewards in a moment. Winning prediction. During the event, you can predict which familiar will win the overall Master of Familiar Wargames. They didn't specify that, but that is exactly how it works. It's not about who wins each day. You support one familiar and they go all the way to the end basically. That's how you predict it. That's why I say you should probably go for either waifu or Iris. They're probably going to be the ones to go all the way. So yeah, you can see right here, this is a image from the EU version actually, because you see Chestia, EU, Humanity. A lot of these familiars are from the EU side of things if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, placing a winning prediction consumes a prediction ticket. You will receive 5 prediction tickets at 7 in the morning PST every day. You can predict the winner after first day matching and before the final day of the game, and it is not possible to place a winning prediction on a familiar which has already been defeated. So if waifu loses, I've lost already basically. I'll have to start supporting somebody else. So that's also something that you can do, is in case you see Iris losing or waifu losing, you can support the other familia immediately basically. So that's something to bear in mind. After the event, you will receive a reward for the number of prediction tickets you cast on the winning familia. So yeah, you've got the spectating thing as well. You can see spectating every single day. You can also relieve past battles with spectate trial version, which is cool. I'm very excited to maybe do like a day of actually just, you know, streaming the entire thing. Maybe we'll see. One day I might do that, maybe on one of the days of Master of Familiar Wargames. We'll see. Master of Familiar Wargame rewards types are listed below. Support reward, this is a reward that can be earned by supporting a familiar against another familiar, so that's support, winning prediction, and familiar ranking. So let's see if we can spot the rewards basically. So let's go to the rewards section and see here. So this is the tournament rewards. There's no iris for actually winning the tournament, in all honesty. It's about just getting into the top ranks, literally rank 1, 2, 3, or so on and so forth. This is, in fact, I'll be very honest and say this is my first Master of Familiar Wargames. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I've never been a participant in the Master of Familiar Wargames, so for me this is completely new and completely fresh, and I'm excited to do my best and see how we fare. Like I said, I think we as Vesta will probably be maybe 5th or 6th. Maybe we got in, I think in Familiar Wargames we were ranked 6th if I'm not mistaken, so that was cool. But let's check out the support reward. So if you get the right familiar that you supported, you get 2 gold tickets and 1 Ascension Falna. If you support the wrong familiar, you just get 1 2-star ticket and an Ascension Falna. So this isn't that important. Winning prediction, however, you get 10 iris for every prediction sort of thing that you've given, basically. So for every ticket you've put into a familiar, so say I put 5 right now in waifu, right? I've given 5 to waifu. If waifu win the whole thing and I've not done any more tickets, I get 50 iris. So for each day you get more tickets, right? You can put them back into it and just pray that you can basically see them win the whole thing and get upwards of 200 iris. It's really easy iris, and I would highly recommend just chucking a prediction on either waifu or iris. I would say one of those 2 familiars will be the ones to win the whole thing, and I think this is a general consensus across everybody. So I would highly recommend putting it down on them, putting it on black, because it is very easily going to be either one of those 2 familiars. I wouldn't necessarily put it on anybody else, to be quite honest. So yes, this is the best ways for you to get some free iris without even being a participant of the Master of Familiar Wargames. And while this is going on, by the way, as well, remember that Record Buster and Telskir Abyss, as well as Training Wargames, is live, so you can get some free iris through those modes as well. Of course, if you haven't done those modes already, be sure to get around to doing them. But yes, let me know what you guys think of the Master of Familiar Wargames. Hopefully you guys get the right predictions in. Like I said, I'm going for waifu. You can go for either waifu or iris. It's going to be one of those 2 anyways. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section below. Who do you guys think is going to win the whole thing? Please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.